The entire group was gone.
And, the floods got into their plugs and stuff
electrocuted
like that.
all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
It's a serious national conversation we should have.
Absolutely.
I mean, Miracle Abuaji's
your friend,
flood. Yes, my very good friend Miracle's. His was up to his neck.
Yours was not up to your neck.
Really?
No, me I saw me nine intimate sasane. But I mean, it goes to tell Ghanaians that the rains are
they are
apolitical. They are apolitical.
If you refuse to take decisions,
the rains don't vote for NDC. They don't vote for MPP. They don't vote for CPP.
Yeah.
The rains are the new Ghanaians. They want to water our grounds so our agriculture can have a boom. So, we can have a better livelihood. But unfortunately, when it rains in Ghana, you have to overthink because you're thinking, even if you are okay, if you are an employer, you are thinking about your employees. How are they going to get to work? Are they okay? If you're a family man, you are thinking about your cousins, your children, your wife, your wives, your in-laws, and so on and so forth. So I think it's important that this conversation is dealt with head-on. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of politicians always just coming up with excuses, and the latest is Garrett. So when I saw today's big conversation, I said, hey, it better not rain today because I want to go into Garrett.
You want to go to Garrett there? We've been talking about Garrett for quite a while, but it's good to have you. Just on that death toll number, I also have been of the firm belief that look, the numbers have been very charitable.
The numbers are not realistic
because if you go into areas where persons were, I mean, you're talking close to 15.
And this is not hearsay. This is coming from the member of parliament of the area who showed up and was
who's the MP there?
Sylvester, and had to be in solidarity with a lot of the residents and so on. And he's like, hey, all I can do is to show up and show some solidarity and support in a little way I can. But there's not much I can do because this thing has gone beyond. It's not even just an MC problem. It needs a real governmental approach. So it's bigger than them because as an MC, you're thinking of demolishing a building that's on a waterway and you're being told there's a call from the top, don't touch that property. And I mean, so how do they even function properly? Not to talk of the MCs who have compromised their integrity, just to get their stomachs fat. Yes. There are those as well. There are those in the MPP and there are those in the NDC. They exist in every political party, and we should stop having this flood conversation on partisan lines because, I mean, if the first major event in Ghana was 1935 and in 2026 we are still having this conversation, then the gods are not to blame.
Most certainly
by Friday,
they are not to blame.
We should get a gentleman in the studio. I'm still speaking to him, convincing him to come. He's going to tell us all the rivers that have been blocked, that have been built on, that have been channeled into gutters. That is causing all these problems. So he tells me there are two sides to the matter. There's a physical one and there's a spiritual one. Because for certain people, I kid you not.
Okay, I want you to make the point about the spiritual aspect.
I kid you not, because there's a place in Accra, industrial area. All of you know the place. Every year, they pour libation. Because the place is sitting on a river. You know the place. I'll mention it to you off air. They pour like every year. And you see, don't joke with these things.
I'm particularly curious as to
the
spirituality in connection with it.
When they get offended, it happens.
I always say, our ancestral beliefs are definitely connected to some science of a sort. I like to look at it from a scientific perspective.
Okay.
Because and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's why I said the gods are not to blame, because at the end of the day, cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yeah.
So I mean, to listeners and viewers who are probably thinking, I mean, this morning we are being superstitious. We're not being superstitious. Yeah. We're being superstitiously scientific.
Where water doesn't even dare go, it went.
Yes.
I mean, this year's rains.
All the way up to PGs. You know, Adabraka, PGs. All the way up, you'll be surprised that Odona is down the road. And PGs is so high up. That is the main Kojo Thompson Road. If I'm not wrong, but it's the PGs road that leads to what's the name? Swansea Shopping Arcade, and then to Makola. The water went all the way up there and destroyed office equipment. So that is how it's. So the conversation with the person who is a gang, original gang, those traditional people, he was just saying it openly that, oh, you tell the river, we no longer need you. We are creating a gutter for you. Pass through this gutter. And that is from the assembly when they talk about what? They call it rezoning. Oh, feel it, we just create an alley for it. So all the alleys from Legon, all the gutters that you see at Abilinkpe, Jowulu, and all those places, they have just put them in a gutter. All the ones that we see when you're on the Temamoto Way, and you see those small gutters, they are all rivers that we have diverted. I was showed a plan yesterday. The tributaries come like this. There are two headwaters. They come all the way from the Amasaman zone, and then this one comes from the Equiapem area. So they all come like this, and they get into the Odo. Yet we have blocked everybody out. We have blocked them out. We're still doing it. I told you, at Etekwashi, next to the Talo Oil Building, that's behind the, what's the name? National Identification Authority.
Yeah.
It used to be what I would call the Tetekwashi Art Center, where these guys used to sell artifacts and all that.
I see that place.
That place is being filled. It's been filled. They're constructing a building over there. And that is another danger. That is another danger. This is not the first time Tetekwashi is flooded. When they built that Villaggio apartment, it was the first time. Excuse me, sorry. Somebody in his Range Rover had to keep his head, his chin, above the water with his head facing the roof of the car.
Imagine.
I mean, was it not Shiashi and those areas?
Yes,
it's along Shangri-La. That's where the Ayalolo bus got stuck and persons had to come out.
Oh, really? It happened again? Well, so you see.
No, last week's rain. Yeah.
Actually. So that all that area was not supposed to be built, but we have gone out of our own way to do the building. So I ask, if times have passed, and we believe that we're in a new era, modern era, we don't reason according to the times. We are rather doing the messy things.
You know where I'm going to pick it from?
Yes.
This new area you speak of, that the land is being filled. What is the engineering solution to make sure that place doesn't flood?
Well, I will cede to Engineer Crosby. So engineer,
you understand?
Yes. It is very serious.
Because we are having the conversation at least since last week. And we are having this conversation again because of the experience of K. And it's been on for a week. This weekend, entire shows were discussing some prominent persons who suffered, how many lives have been lost. And I'm not really enthused that we are adding Cape Coast flood from 2 weeks ago to it and all of that.
It's terrible. Even the
and yet,
it was...
Yes, it was... Now, yesterday on the news, there's reports that typhoid and some other sicknesses are already, and skin rashes are already on the up.
Health
right? Now, while we are having all this conversation, as we are speaking now, somebody is building in a waterway. Somebody is doing something which will result in
3FM News this morning.
A problem.
I hear where the president went last year to stop them from developing the place when the cabinet. The cabinet went there. Council of State. When Council of State visited the place, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, the place had been built.
President's crying, feeling that.
You see,
no assemblyman.
He went there and stopped it. Yes, per the news that I heard on 3FM this morning, when the Council of State went there, paid a visit to the place, The place had been built. They were still building. I told you. The assembly. So who do you put there?
I would be very happy to host, the TV3, 3FM team, the Media General team in Sampa Valley and Tetico Enclaves. You know, there are things that I think usually when the media people come around, you know, those custodians are too shy to show.
Oh, yeah.
But you should come.
Well, I think yesterday we were at is it Malam Junction, one of the areas which had been greatly flooded.
Please, that's not supposed to be.
And I'm sure you'll be asking questions why certain commercial properties find themselves where they are at the expense of 2,000 homes. You know, you'll be asking yourself, what is this church doing here?
Yeah.
At the expense of over 2,000 homes.
Yeah.
You would be asking yourself, I mean, why did this big man decide to put up his building here?
You know the Pambros area where there's this
crazy.
cement factory?
Can you imagine? How can you have a cement factory close to a and you know that there was a back and forth on that issue.
On that,
There was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, monies were paid.
I don't know, for some strange reason, you know, the justice did not favor the cause.
Yeah,
you know,
money spoke. But the point is that now the water is telling you exactly what you should have considered.
We should be considering measuring the air quality in that area. Just the air quality in that area, and let's look at the lives, how it's starting to affect people. We can start now. They say if you have a Ghana card, they know where you live, they know which hospital you're going to, they know. Yeah, let's dig into that.
So okay, the dangerous thing is that, you know, that place where the police is, it's close to the Pambros salt.
Of course.
So you can imagine what is going into the salt that we're consuming.
Yes.
Oh, there's some graph showing up on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Okay.
So
this was the rainfall which was recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, what we recorded
the highest
on last week was the highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It partly
what date was it?
Explains why
this
we
is
saw.
From 1987.
Partly explains why we saw the floods in the manner in which we did. But it also is not a justification for the human activity and the pure recklessness we've exhibited as a people in terms of how we've built and all of that. So, highest rainfall, particularly in the capital, recorded in decades.
Yes.
I
think Franklin Kujo posted this and he added a caption. Let me just touch on it. He says, so news about devastating floods in neighboring Ivory Coast set me asking if extreme weather patterns was at play. 1. June 2026 in Ivory Coast was marked by intense above average precipitation as the primary rainy season peaked. The month saw persistent torrential downpours across the country, particularly in the coastal regions, which triggered widespread urban flooding and landslides in and around Abidjan, ultimately claiming lives of dozens by the end of the month. The South experienced exceptionally high rainfall totals that significantly exceeded long-term averages, while the early months saw lighter in intervals for crop development. Late June experienced a particularly heavy system. This led to flash floods, burst drainage channels, and fatal mudslides in suburbs like Anyama. And he adds and concludes that my checks with meteorological data shows rainfall in June 2026 for Accra was the highest since 1987. Please see graph below. Coincidentally, this amount of rainfall on June 29th met with high sea tides for about 2 hours, which prevented the water from going into the sea. Of course, this information should not diminish the fact that we have to continue doing our bit to prevent perennial flooding, just like Mawina
because, see, the Meteo Agency warned us that the rains will be more
this
year. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yesterday we were here when that was mentioned.
Yeah.
Next year, it will be far worse than it was this year. If there's anything.
Yes, better graph.
We've been told that, right?
Yeah.
And if you go back to the graph, you see the tide continues to increase.
Yeah.
And we continue to record heavier and heavier and heavier.
Yeah. But
yes, 2026 was a bit
it just shot
out of the ordinary, right? But if anything, he only suggests that out of one day in every year, we will experience rain in the manner in which we did this year. So between now and next year, I mean, next if we return, obviously there are flash floods, right? When it rains, it fills the road and then it goes away after a time. Those are understandable. But rain that will take over people's homes, will be deploying maritime authority. NADMO officials will be surfing and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
we should start.
Once we know,
should consider,
the preparations must start now.
Boats on Uber and
I hear a lot of people when it starts raining, they start complaining, why is my light out? Your light must be out because somebody is going to die if they don't turn off that light.
Yeah, like it happened in Enclave.
Somebody will die if the lights don't go off.
I lost a friend about 3 years ago due to that.
Water entered.
Yeah, water entered. He was stepping out to switch on a pump and pour him. I mean,
go electrocuted and
yeah. I mean, he rests well. But it's real, you know. Sometimes when we talk about these issues, those who sit at the top, you know, probably they don't experience these things
miracles
much.
Will talk to them. Miracles will talk to them. And I'm sure for most people who went to watch the World Cup, I mean, they may come back home to see the relocation of their home.
Oh, they have 2-3. They have 2-3 homes, you know.
The big man.
They have 2-3 homes. So
go Black Stars. Go Black Stars.
The big man. They are good.
Yeah, but I said now.
You
ask yourself if you're in the area. Anyway, the newspapers.
Right. Let me start off with the daily graphic. Okay. Big banner story, special needs education now free. Government allocates 100 million cedis for implementation. MTN business partners graphic to deliver trusted business intelligence. Ghana can't solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing. As according to the minister, I want to know which minister this is because I think it will feed nicely into that video that Frederick wanted to show us about someone dumping waste somewhere. That's the Minister for Local Government speaking there. And the waste disposal conversation, we need to, it's real. It has a direct linkage.
So this is on the motorway.
To everything that happens.
Motorway.
And the guy is dumping the refuse there.
Dumped it there. And that's the strategy. And even this morning, there was another one on the road. So this is the strategy. They'll just be
and
here.
these tricycles are all over. These tricycles are all over the place.
They tip it over.
In fact, I'll be honest with you.
I'm wondering. I mean, what are the authorities doing? Because these tricycles are becoming way too many. You know, we've become a republic of Aboboya and a republic of Pragya.
A new set was dumped this morning on the motorway, but because I was in a hurry to come to, I couldn't stop to take the video. So this is what they do. Deliberately dump it and then they go. And even before this one, we had two before this one.
Patrice, you know something?
Yes, my brother.
You see these tricycles?
Yes, boss.
I want you to pay attention to the riders.
Yes.
And you will observe that some of them, you know, are probably not even 16 years old.
Oh, yeah. And most of them are not Ghanaians also. I mean, from where I'm speaking from, that place, no, they are not Ghanaians. There's no registration on the motorbike. So there's no way.
So what is law enforcement doing about this?
Anyways.
Good morning.
Good morning. So the daily gist is what we continue with. And it says, Kaswa NDC chairman grabs 41 million Ghana cedi 24-hour market contract after sex scandal. Whoa. Attorney General faces contempt for arresting Buffer Stock ex-boss at Accra Airport. Baumia extends relief to Accra flood victims. And you can trade lives for fiscal discipline. Kujo upon Nkrumah again. The bold banner headline.
Or you can.
It says you can't.
You read it as you can.
Oh, really? Oh, I said you can't trade lives for fiscal discipline upon Nkrumah. Arthur Forson sits on $200 million World Bank cash as floods kill 40. And this headline is my best. It's my headline of the day.
This is gradually, Kay mentioned politicization of the conversation. Gradually, that's why it's been reduced.
Of course, absolutely.
Right? Because headlines like that, then there will be a response. Because I'm reading on online platforms, somebody within the finance ministry saying that the Kufuor administration diverted $65 million of the fund to COVID-19 and what have you, essentially seeking to say that as much as $65 million of what we needed to deal with floods was diverted and what have you. That doesn't answer for.
So let me do my daily gist.
If we do our job well.
Best headline of the day. It says, Oforiatta must be an idiot to come to Ghana. And this is by Martin Amidu.
Martin Amidu should give us a break.
Yeah, respectfully.
Respectfully, he should give us a break.
Respectfully.
Wasn't he the same person who was telling us Nana Akufo-Addo, our former president, is the mother serpent of corruption and painted a very gross, horrendous picture of him? And was Akufo-Addo the finance minister?
I love the headline. Oforiatta must be an idiot.
So if he starts saying things like that, I feel it is just, calculated hate towards the office of the special prosecutor, which he fled from or abandoned. He should give us a break. There are better things to think about, Martin Amidu. If you can hear me this morning, good morning. But please give Ghanaians a break.
The Daily Guide this morning, the front page says, Kwadwo Safo confirmed Christo Asafo leader in Wales. That story is on page 3. I don't know whether this brings finality to the.
I'm not sure it does.
To the back and
I'm
forth.
not sure it does at all.
Also, Nanama Bonsu outdoored new Asantehima on page 6 of the paper. Ex-NAFCO boss sweating BNI custody, denied access to lawyers. Wontumi plea bargain talks extended to July 27. There's another story here. JHS students slashed with machete for fondling senior's breast. That also page 6 of the paper. In fact, it was making rounds.
The boy was trying to be naughty.
And I've read the story, and this is what the story says. So there's this JHS 1 male student. The school is in Asin Krofofudro district. There's a basic school there in the central region, and he has suffered severe machete wound after allegedly fondling his female senior's breast. So according to accounts from the school, the incident occurred during a campus cleanup exercise. School authorities had instructed the students to weed the overgrown compound using machetes. Now, this JHS1 student, who is currently receiving treatment at the district clinic, he's reported to have touched his senior's breast repeatedly during the campus cleanup exercise. Repeatedly, that's what the paper says.
Wow.
Please continue, but no comment.
After being warned not to do so. So there is this 15-year-old JHS2 female student. And then she said she had repeatedly warned this JHS1 male student against touching her breast. Now, she alleged that he defied the warning and then did it again during the exercise. So she was irritated by what she described as disrespect. And then she picked up a machete and then slashed the boy's inner wrist. Now, the parents of the injured victim have accused the school authorities over negligence to attend to the award after the injury. Speaking to the family of the victim, the elder sister said the school was negligent after the attack, and then he said a female colleague inflicted a machete wound on him while they were playing. And
so the female inflicted the wound on the male?
On the male, because he was fondling her breast. Sexual harassment unnecessarily.
I agree, but the resort to violent tendencies.
No, but the point is that was the language the gentleman was awaiting to hear.
No,
because stop it, and you know.
No means
you see,
no.
I
we should be careful
think,
not to.
Yes,
but it also does not justify any form of violence.
Yes, that's the point I'm making about the slashing. It's a bit. I don't know.
So the school authorities. Why didn't she escalate?
Relative says that he wrapped his arm around her neck and mistakenly touched her breast.
Oh. How can that be? Because the lady said, I repeatedly cautioned you to stop fondling my breasts. It was not an accident. How can an accident just result in me slashing you? It doesn't make sense.
For me, here's why I think the account or the versions are separate. One person obviously will say there was incessant sexual harassment. The other will seek to suggest, no, it wasn't in the manner in which you, because humans, when things happen, they are tempted to.
What did the boy say? What did the boy himself?
So the boy is in the hospital, so he
has not spoken.
For me, when all is said and done, is the use of the machete.
Yeah, you can't control people's anger. So don't.
If you say you can't control people's anger, there'll be justification.
The point is that because you can't control people's anger,
don't make them angry.
Don't wake them up.
No, I agree 100%. When around this table we say, non-consensual is non-consensual. You shouldn't go about touching people inappropriately, right? That's fair. But also we can condemn that, and we can say you can't killing a fly with a sledgehammer sometimes is excessive. That's the only point. Because for students slashing, cutlass, and that being what comes to mind is why I find it a bit problematic. Right. Yes, you can.
I'm not saying she was right.
No, I'm not even talking about slap, but to slash somebody's hands, you can report the person and the person will be dealt with, amongst other things. There should be appropriate means to deal with.
To this lady, if the machete killed the boy.
Yes, but I think we also need to be pretty cautious here. What it is that we are hearing slash. It is possible maybe it was not a slash.
And just a slight cut.
Maybe it was just,
No, they say he's in severe condition.
A machete. What was a machete doing in her hand?
No, they clean up exercise. So, we go to SHS, there are cutlasses, you weed, all of those things. So, we were weeding in SHS. I had a shoulder problem, so I stopped weeding after a while.
Well, that hand will always remind him of what not to do.
Okay, someone is saying she accidentally slashed the boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, if it's accidental, then I'm tempted to believe, okay, an accident in that regard, fair, right? But to have the thinking and the conviction, and I'll be a bit. That's why.
Let me tell you one secret about me.
For me,
I get overly agitated.
It's not a secret anymore.
In fact, it's still a secret because I've not said what it is. When you tickle me, it is so terrible I could harm you. I'm serious.
Please.
I get so agitated when you tickle me. I pierced a boy with pen back in school. He's called Sakifio.
Why you are exhibiting violent tendencies?
No, I'm not exhibiting, but because the point is that do not do it. Do not do it. I'm uncomfortable. It's getting me agitated. I just turned and then ram. He was just lucky. The luckiest of all of them, may he so rest in peace, Ato Middleton Mains. Ato was sitting right behind me at church service. And he knew this thing about me. Ato, I'll just be giggling like that because I don't want to make noise. I'll be punished with him. So I couldn't contain it. But what could I do? So for me, if you kept on doing something like that, my reaction is not based on logic. I'm just like, why are you being so irrational?
Motor reaction?
It's anything at all can happen.
As much as I can understand and appreciate, I also think, there are certain certain limits, right? Certain limits which
you haven't reached there yet.
So that is for the part of the female student. Now for the male student too, who is accused of doing this, I think there are some lessons we can learn from it.
Absolutely.
And then tracing it back to the school and the home. If what the paper is reporting is true, that he did it repeatedly, then it seeks to say that this is not the first time something like this is happening.
Yeah, possibly.
This is not the first time the boy is doing something like this. And we know how children now are, how they want to explore things, do things. I'm sure something like this has come to the school authorities before. A lady has gone to say that, say, this boy has tagged me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And then they treated it some way.
They could have done that,
They did not necessarily put their foot down and then warn the boy, punish him not to do things like this again. And I'm also quite certain that before this gets to school, something sort of related to this may have happened at home. Or some complaints may have come to the parents of the boy in relation to something like this, and they may not have handled it properly. So if the boy keeps doing things like this and is not warned, he's not corrected, he's not punished to stop it once and for all, this is some of the things we're looking at. And it goes beyond, these concerns we're having. Fine, this did not happen to the boy. He was not slashed with a machete and all of that. This boy grows up, leaves JHS, gets into SHS, and then begins to think that, well, I can have my way by go about attacking people.
Yeah, I mean, you should teach boys to keep their hands to themselves.
So it's a two-way something. We should be advising parents, school authorities to be very careful about some of these things, because if they are not treated well, this child grows, and then I'm not saying him, but stories like this, you grow, and then by the time you realize you're growing a rapist in your home, in your school, and some of them will start.
No means no.
Some of them will start with these things. So I think it's
There's a newspaper here called Business Weekly. Business Weekly says that fuel prices to record one of Ghana's biggest recent declines as petrol, diesel, and LPG costs fall from July 1. Yeah. Also, Accra floods paralyzed Ghana's economic heartland as government edges work from home and supply chain collapse. And the World Bank raises Ghana's 2026 economic growth forecast to 4.5%, signaling stronger than expected pest crisis recovery. I hope I'm getting a pest. So the banner headline says, surviving inflation and now floods. So that is Business Weekly.
I think I'll go to the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Which says NDC national chair race. Upon Fosu leads in early polls.
Where are the polls coming from? Yeah, no, I'm not seeing any
picture there, but where are the polls coming from? The Inquisitor. But I think Upon Fosu is the GIPC chairman.
Oh, really? Yeah?
Yes. And then I also see there, Cocoa Board doles out 2.6 billion Ghana cedis to settle farmers. And that's contrary to their earlier promise of about 6 billion Ghana cedis owed farmers, which their spokesperson in an interview promised would be sorted in June. Otumfo to celebrate Akwesidae at US in August. And we have NPA engages retail outlets, tanker drivers over compliance. That's for the Inquisitor.
Yeah. So there's a publisher. Publisher says, Dami warns Attorney General over airport arrest, disobey court, and face contempt. It's got the pictures of the three protagonists. And then some university degrees are useless. Educhum says so. And then Momo Vendor kills armed robber. We saw that yesterday. So that is the front page of the new publisher.
I'll take you to the Ghanaian Times newspaper. But before that, there's an interesting article on page 4 of the Daily Guide. Why can't Ghanaians be on time? why can't Ghanaians be on time in Ghana? I think it's interesting if anybody wants to read it.
Look, we actually have something. GMT has been turned to Ghana man time. we have accepted we are late.
They say the Greenwich Meridian time, people describe it as Ghana mean time. People say the Ghana man time. And it's interesting. The Ghanaian Times this morning, it says that coalition calls for review of civilian gun license revocation on page 14. It comes to the page of Adib Sani, executive director of the Jakite Center. ECOWAS chairman consoles Ghana over deadly floods on page 13. Okay, well, we like that. Do something about South Africa as well. Otunfo-32, the second, names Nanama Bonsu as 15th Asante Hema on page 13. JHS steps up malaria fight as rain set in. Upper West police intercept 50,000 ammunition. 3 suspects arrested. Also, banner headline, Sakomono Lagoon under siege. Indiscriminate dumping turns wetland into landfill. You go to the back page. Promote professionalism. Fairness, discipline. Immigration commanders urge Ladadeko Topo MP commissions 2 bridges for the community. And just picking up from the Sakomono Lagoon and the siege story, as the indiscriminate dumping has turned a wetland into a landfill. There's a message that I've received this morning, and it is related to a place around Odumase, in Sakin Odumase. It's under the Ablekuma area. Now, what is happening is that the tricycles we're talking about this morning, they line up at a particular landfill. The landfill is over the brim. It is full, but they still line up there, and then they still attempt to dump the refuse there. You can go there at a time, and you'd find like tens of tricycles lined up, blocking roads, and you know the kind of the people who operate these tricycles. And what the person is sending me is that they'll be happy if we come and come and tell the story. Okay, that will be fine. But we should not come alone, because the people can beat you well. They could attack you. So the police could join. So in Sakina Odumase.
Sakina
Odumase, that area, the
Sakina Odumase.
In Sakina Oduman. I'm not sure Odumase is. It's Oduman.
Oduman, right, I see. In Sakina Oduman, okay.
Where would that be?
When from Ablekuma, when you are going towards Afwaman, I know the place.
Yeah,
I know the place.
The authorities there, pay attention. There's a landfill that people are not managing well at all.
In Sakina Oduman. In Sakina Oduman. Whoever their authorities are, this morning we are telling
that
you
is in the West
that we have received reports that Aboboya riders
are dumping
refuse
indiscriminately.
The landfill
is full. In fact, the person is telling me that. So she was on a video call with her husband, and they had queued like that. I have witnessed it before. They queue like that, blocking the road. You go to talk to them. It's like you almost have to beg them to make way for you to go. And then they were throwing rubbish on the road, dropping them everywhere. Care. And then the person says that they thought she was recording them because it was on a video call, and they almost hit her with a stick.
Wow. So
it's something that they should be careful about.
In Sakina Oduman.
Yes.
Good morning, Ghana Police.
Fix it before we come there. Whoever the assembly members
I think this week we need to dedicate a special day to talk purely about waste management in this country, particularly in the capital Accra.
Because
you recall last week
all this waste from the floods.
Last week,
where are they going?
Last week there was a message that came through about waste management that at Dansuman, the big waste collecting vehicles, the waste trucks, they stopped coming because they said the rains was disturbing. When that happens, you are forced to give it to tricycle operators because you can't keep the rubbish at home. In fact, when I was coming to work this morning, I realized that East Airports, on all of these very nice estates and things, when you're Manette, East Airport, Mayfair Estate, behind Mayfair Estate, those are the areas I use. People had their rubbish collectors outside full. Nobody has come for it yet. right? Who is collecting the waste? Where is the waste being taken to? These are very important questions.
Yes. When the waste is collected, where is it sent?
When it's not collected by these big trucks, and I lived at Afuaman for 8 years, you beg, you call the waste collectors, you will be begging on the phone. They will not come for the waste. You pay monthly, you don't miss.
Yes.
They will not come for it. And then you are forced to give it to tricycle operators because
so we're saying
the waste is there.
Government just needs to regulate
the
these
waste
tricycle operators.
How will you? I mean, you can't live with the filth in your house
because it's also a form of employment. Because look, if these guys, right, were not collecting waste, let's call a spade a spade. As much as they do things indiscriminately and they appear unruly, if these guys were not employed, were not doing what they are doing now, what would they be doing? What jobs or opportunities has government created for these guys? So I think it's important that when we have that conversation, we also look at it from a perspective where government regularizes them well and integrate them within the waste management value chain or ecosystem.
Yeah. For me, I think the monopoly of the waste management is too bad. So we allow
people hate Manessa for that. People hate Manessa Azuri for that.
No, even that contract has been abrogated. There is no one man or one company responsible.
It's not been opened. It's not been opened up.
What publicly happened was that when the contract was abrogated, the municipalities and districts are to take care in terms of contractual arrangements, find persons who can take care of the waste. What has happened to that?
We're just a bunch of jokers.
Because I'm telling you that on my way to work this morning, in fact, it was the only thing that made me speak, because from when I left the house, outside of good morning to the the rider, the only words I muttered until I got here and I started was, these guys, their waste have not been collected. And all of them, their boiler is outside.
Yeah.
Like I was just telling myself, and I said it out loud. Those were the only words until I got
There's a looming health crisis.
It is.
How these tricycle operators because if the landfill is filled to the brim and they still have to collect the waste, they have to dispose the waste off.
Yes.
So the adapt strategy, they would go and they'll see some road somewhere, they'll park for a day or two, just to let people think that maybe there's a problem with the tricycle.
Just tip it over.
By the time I realize the waste is there, the tricycle is not there again. And then this Nsakino Duman thing, when people are building their houses there, because the landfill there's no space for them, when they line up like that, if you have a plot with a wall, but you have not, finished building, they will just flip the thing, put the refuse on your plot, and then move away. So it's not something that is happening recently. It is something that has been a trend for a very long time at the Nsakina Oduman area.
You should use the Wija to McCarthy Road
around Ablekuma. I think it's a cause of concern.
See a long
which place is this again? Is it McCarthy?
The same, yeah.
No, the same place we were mentioning.
Yes,
is it Oduman?
Yes, the Nsakina Oduman thing around. So Gar West Municipal Assembly.
It's under Gar West.
Yes.
I've lived there, so I know.
Around communities, Mahia, Blekuma, and Amasaman.
It's Gar West.
It's Gar West. Taking over. The assemblies, again, they call it rezoning. So landfill sites have been converted into.
No, do we even have landfill sites in every assembly?
Yes, we had a lot of them in this country. Go even from when you're heading towards Pome. That is where Zoom Lion has one of the landfill sites. People have come to build houses there, estates there, industries there, and the landfill site is there. And he's done, that's a beautiful job. It looks like there's a green carpet over the whole stretch. So gradually they're draining it out, and the bad water is been seeping. I don't know where they're going to dump it, but it looks beautiful. But my point is that why do we allow people to build around landfill sites, forgetting that there wouldn't be anywhere for us to dump the refuse? Point again is, we don't have any mechanism to say that we are transforming the waste into anything else. Besides the one we have at recycle, we don't have it. There's one at on the Mochi Road, also by Zulayo. You get it, where they carry the waste and then try to churn it into something else and all that. But my point is that it has to be something holistic. If we don't do that, most people will just, it will get to a point like the airport people you're referring to. You don't know where to take your refuse. People start dumping it close there and then be burning it.
My refuse was not picked yesterday. Yeah. It's picked on a Monday mostly.
Yeah.
And so the bin is full.
Yeah.
And nobody has come for it.
Yeah.
I fall within that same...
Yeah, the danger is that we use a lot more plastics and bottles instead of paper.
My, and I'm speaking for me, right? My plastic bottles, there's a special bag
but then we have glass bottles. We have can. And we have polythene.
And Kojo Fiagbe says that he resides at Nsakino Dumasi, and I'm sure he's going to corroborate this story. Kojo, tell us what the situation is when it comes to waste collection and disposal by these tricycle operators. The people on the road is not good. Now, people are what kind of double wahala is this?
Right.
Yes. So. The newspapers, yes. So the graphic business this morning says insurers brace for 500 million Ghana cedi shock. Industry liquidity to be tested. Motor sector most exposed. And then inflation rises sharply to 5.3% in June. And finally, Ghana risks losing mining investment amid fiscal concerns. So that's the graphic business for today.
I think we can get into a bit more in terms of the details, right? Because
we have Economy Times.
Just do a few of those ones and then.
So Economy Times says that up to 500 million Ghana cedi insurance claims expected from Accra flood damage, and then stocks reclaim attention on Ghana's financial markets as GSE, that is Ghana Stock Exchange, delivers 66% return, and then. Business grouping asks government for tax reforms as part of the mid-year budget review. So that is the Economy Times for today.
There's the Metro Lens, and on the banner headline we have Ochehine looking regal, and he says Accra floods, warning to all. And then we also see Frank Anodompre, the Minority Chief Whip. He says, don't mortgage Ghana's future for carbon cash. Anodompre warns government. For page 9, there's a story on protect wetlands to curb flooding. Professor Weafedebra urges science-backed action. And our coach resigns as Black Stars coach.
Well, that's up for debate because on the back page of the Daily Graphic,
it's been a very controversial one.
The story by Morris Kwanzaa in Kansas City says Queiroz set for contract extension after brief World Cup stint. So it doesn't look like he's one who is going to be out of the picture any soon. He might be there for a while.
Premature to. I think it would be a premature. Eviction.
Well, for me, I have no problem if he resigns. I'll be happy if he resigns.
Why?
So
for one or two reasons.
On the we've been talking about waste disposal. We have a national solid waste management strategy for Ghana. It's a policy document as of June 2020. It was then by the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources. That's a policy document.
Madam Daba.
Yes. Then there is a national plastics management policy as well.
No matter how well intentioned.
You see, I'm going over them, not that...
Oh, yes, just so that people
we
can
have
understand that it's not that the regulatory framework
but we are not seeing the thing play out. So we are going to pore over this and then we'll find the essential bits and pieces. Perhaps it will help us, it will point us into directions as to why things are the way they are and who we should be asking what. I know a huge chunk will fall on the local government ministry as well because that story in page 3, for instance, says we can't solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing. Suggests if you don't deal with waste, the entire debate as to climate and all of that is a waste of everybody's time.
But we've seen the waste during these floods. Yes. And some of us are asking, like, where is it going to? How are we going to manage this waste? I think it's a perfect opportunity to allow private sector and government, collaboration. And we're not talking about a monopolistic private sector. We are talking about the likes of bar stop boys who are on the ground and showing work. We are seeing them do things on their own. It's been an awesome journey with them so far. Strong social intervention that they have going on. So, what are we doing to empower some of these organizations that are already leading the charge? Are we going to continue applauding them in our individual capacities, or government is going to do something more substantial for them? Are they going to, train them to better understand the technicalities of waste management so they can perform better? Are they going to be supplied machinery, equipment, and so on and so forth? So it's a conversation that must be had, the waste management bit, because if we don't, it becomes a recipe for another crisis.
And we'll keep producing the waste. If we don't get a place to dispose the waste of, we'll find a place to put the waste, and the place we'll find will not be a good place. Eventually, we'll put them at places we should not put them. We'll put them in the gutters. It will rain. We'll suffer.
What it comes off as is that there's no synergy, there's no connection. Everybody is doing whatever it is that they are doing apart. So the local government, and mind you, this Friday and Saturday is National Cleaning.
Yeah, but is it a holiday?
It's not
a holiday. But the point is that we have to be specific about these
who
things.
advised the president to take that decision?
I have no idea who did. Maybe
because it's
Friday
not a holiday.
Saturday.
I mean, it would have been awesome if we did that on the Republic holiday.
Yeah.
But
even if it is pushed,
it would have made a lot of sense if we did that on the Republic holiday.
Yeah.
But our cemeteries included in the cleanup exercise. Our cemeteries included.
You're introducing a different aspect
of
graveyards.
Our various graveyards. Are they part of the cleanup exercise?
No, I think those are managed by assemblies. And assemblies, because before you bury, there are necessary monies which I think we've had this conversation. They are managed, and so persons are expected to take care of those places, to weed and keep it clean, and so that falls directly within the remit of whichever assembly this plays out in.
But may I just sign this, because the point is that, look,
there's a reason.
If we say Friday, Saturday is for cleaning for who? If it's not a holiday and I don't show up at work and I say the president says I should clean up, so I was cleaning, what are my employers going to say? So let us just be straightforward and say that we want 2 days off. Meanwhile, other organizations are claiming that 2 days is not enough for the cleanup.
2 days from the flood.
Oh yeah.
We like cosmetic things too much.
So either make it a holiday, sound it, let everybody know.
We like cosmetic things too much.
Give us 3 days.
What would the 2 days cleanup exit? What massive? Look, we are looking for long-term solutions. So, Mr. President, have you experienced flood where it was up to your waist? Miracles. Abuaji's own was up to his neck. Mine was up to my waist. Mr. President, we want a comprehensive, sustainable approach. We want to understand how Garrett funds were used. Why were Garrett funds used for COVID initiatives? Initiative that has nothing to do with flooding. And we hear you say you are giving us a 2-day holiday.
It's not a holiday even. We are not clear on that. I hear it's just 2 days of cleaning.
It's not holiday. It's just
cleaning,
2-day cleaning exercise.
Mr. President, please come.
I think sometimes
again.
we need to. Let me just quickly touch on online Ghana Web, and then we just
there are a few of the online portals as well.
And so it says on Ghana Web this morning, it says, watch as Nana Akufo-Addo sheds tears of joy after court confirms him as Christo Osafo's successor.
But let me ask, what happens to Osibo, the Zara man?
What happened
with regards to this particular Christo Osafo?
Why?
Some.
But who is he?
That is why the late Professor Atamils said that Ziwufie Asem.
Yes.
Ziwufie Asem.
He is the Safo family, the Kantanka family's version of, Kantanka's family version of Papa Shi.
Let me make this disclosure. Good morning, Osibo. I mean, whilst you're busy, highlighting some of these issues, whilst he's busy highlighting some of these issues on people's family, the Johnson family says good morning. I mean, I'm a very close relative to the Johnson family. And when the Johnson family says good morning, Osibo, I hope you understand. Try and remedy your shortcomings. Good morning, Osibo.
So let's continue with the Ghana web stories. Convicted fraudster Chad arrested after 7 years on the run. Oh, wow. And then the 159-year record Asante has broken with the selection of Amma Bonsu as Asante Hema. Female JHS students allegedly slashes schoolmates with cutlass over repeated breast. And then High Court order was vague. Larry Dogby challenges contempt conviction that was placed on him. No official resignation letter from Carlos Queiroz, despite social media posts. This is coming